Okay, thank you for taking time to be here. I'm probably the one, Brother Tamani, I'm probably the one that invited you. And if I am not, then thank you for taking, or if I was not, thank you for taking the invite from whomever gave it to you. And thank you for taking time to be here. This is a Grow for Care Alliance and Black Gold Nation collaboration titled Let's Build Together. As times become more dire, we must, those of us who have nonprofits that are black or brown led and black or brown focused, we must align ourselves to circle our wagons, if you will, to ensure that as many people as possible that we are already focused on are able to make it through this presidential cycle and beyond, because things are most certainly getting bad, going to get worse. And the work that we do with our nonprofits and our community-based, community-focused organizations is most certainly going to matter. So the Grow for Care Alliance, if you do not know, if you've never heard of the Grow for Care Alliance, what we are about is being the bridge between all of those organizations, people like yourself who are doing the good work. We want to be the bridge between that work that's already being done to those that need that work to be done in their lives. So Grow for Care, Grow and Care are both acronyms. The Grow for Care Alliance stands for Generating Rural Opportunities to Win. That's the grow part. For the number 4, community action results and empowerment. Of course, you put Grow for Care together and you have generating real opportunities to win for the community, for action, for results, and for empowerment. And our website is grow4care.org. So a connected community, as we see it, is a strong community. Regardless of who you are, what you do, where you work, lounge, play, or pray, everyone has a need for connectivity. The individual to opportunity, the family to support, the community to assistance, the business to contracts, the nonprofit to investments and or financial support, the politician to his or her constituents, the government office to its citizens, or the corporation to its customers/clients. We all have a need, regardless of where we are within or on that circle of community. We all have a need to connect. And the Grow for Care Alliance is focusing on being the hub of the many bridges for that connectivity. Our reality, the black reality in 2025. Quote, Black communities in America are domestic colonies of a colonial capitalist system. A colony is when a foreign nation, other ethnic groups with assistance from the U.S. government as it relates to the Black community, takes over a sovereign state, Black communities, and brings in its military, the police, and extracts from it its natural resources, our brothers, sisters, and children, while simultaneously creating a slave labor, the created a prison pipeline workforce whereby the people own and or control nothing, end quote. This is a statement made by Brother Charles Barron. And this is why we repeatedly lose, our communities repeatedly lose, because other people control it, because we have yet to mobilize and organize so that we can control it, so other people control it, which means other people's agendas are what takes place and what happens. And the only way we're going to ensure that other people's agendas don't happen is if we control the spaces as much as possible where we live. Add to that the fact that we're dealing with the results of Project 2025, which of course is not helping our situation. The economy is currently being dismantled on purpose. The social safety net is currently being dismantled on purpose. The educational system dismantled on purpose. Federal protections, both for the consumers and for citizens, are being dismantled. Funding for nonprofits, for government offices, for government departments are being defunded and dismantled. The fleecing of the poor, especially now with this most recent quote unquote big beautiful bill, the fleecing of the poor to make the rich richer is the order of the day. So Project 2025 is most certainly not helping our situation. And it's only been 6 months since they've gotten started. So 5 things we absolutely must do right now as relates to our current reality and Project 2025 if we want to mobilize, organize, push back, and survive. The first thing we have to do is understand the tremendous growth for our missions. What we do as a nonprofit, as a community-based organization, as a community-focused organization, the needs of what we currently do is not going to decrease. The funding is most certainly going to decrease if it hasn't already begun to decrease. But the missions for whatever we focus on doing, whatever we are in business to do with our nonprofits, that's going to increase. It's going to increase because the lives of people are only going to become that much more dire and severe. As the social safety net of this country continues to be dismantled, people are going to need what we do in greater numbers, not less numbers. So we have to understand that the need for what we do is going to grow. Secondly, we have to understand the strength of our numbers, and I will get to that in a moment. We have to understand the grassroots needs for our organizations. The people on the lowest rungs of society are going to need what we do. We have to understand that creating strategic partnerships is going to become a must do. So we have to have partnerships that matter. And sadly, I'm sorry. And lastly, the fifth thing that we absolutely must do is we have to partner. We have to invest. We have to build and reinvest. Partner with one another, invest in our organizations and our communities, build up the community, and then reinvest whatever profits come out of that so that the community can live, thrive, survive, and thrive in style. What's possible if we do these five things? Number one is we can have community organization on a level that we've never experienced. We can have a tremendous funding opportunities as we seek to mobilize and organize the community. Our targeted marketing will become easier because the community will be that much more connected. We will have opportunities to directly advertise and market to our target markets, the people that we want to help and people that we're focused on helping right now. And we can create long-term strategic partnerships that actually matter. Community organization, the GROW4CARE Alliance is the gateway to organizing the community on a level that we've never had because we've already been doing it. We've broken down our organization in four different levels. We have what we call BG is Black Gold because the parent organization for everything that we do is it's called Black Gold Nation. So BG is Black Gold. We have street professionals, precinct lieutenants, zip code captains, and ambassadors. A street professional, their job will be to know what's going on that particular street, either where they live or the street that they've selected that they want to become a professional over. A precinct lieutenant is to know everything that's going on within that particular precinct. A zip code captain is knowing everything that's going on in that zip code. And these are gradual levels of organization. So no one can start as an ambassador or a zip code captain or a precinct lieutenant. Everyone must start as a street professional. And then if they so desire, they can work their way up to being an ambassador. And an ambassador is a city's or municipality's largest voting space. So here in Houston, an ambassador might be over a district A, B, C, D, because that is the largest voting space in this state. So we are mobilizing and organizing the community on a level that no one else is doing, and this will allow us to do things in the community that no one else has been able to do because no one else has had this level of organization. Mobilizing and organizing our people to better connect with the families in these spaces, the community in these spaces, the organizations and the businesses in these spaces will allow us to do things that we've not been able to do before as a community because we haven't had the level of organization required to do the things that we can do. We are focused on creating strategic partnerships that matter because what we're doing is approaching every business, no matter who owns it, no matter the size, no matter what they sell, no matter what they do. We are going to approach every business in a predominantly Black or brown space and do what we can to incentivize them to give something back to the community. They absolutely must understand that if the community dies, their business dies. So they have to give something back to ensure that the community doesn't die so we can help make the community better because that's only going to benefit them. I'm going to give you guys an example of how powerful this could be. A number of years ago, we did a research on a 5-mile radius of one Black-owned business in Sunnyside. And by doing the research on the businesses within this 1 mile radius surrounding this one Black-owned business in a predominantly Black space, we were able to determine that, and we only got about 47% of the research done, but just completing 47%, it identified for us over $1.3 billion that existed within this one 5 mile radius of this one business. Everyone knows that hundreds of millions of dollars flow through predominantly Black spaces, but we have yet, as a community, we have yet to hone in on how we can stop that flow and do something with some of those dollars by having a strategic partnership with every business as much as possible. Not every business will be on board. Most initially would probably say thanks, but no thanks. But we have to continue to move because those economic resources, those finances that we are giving to these other businesses, we need that to survive because things are becoming or have become dire and are only going to get worse. So we are going to approach these businesses. We've already begun to approach the businesses and do what we can to help them understand the reality of the space where that business exists, and then try to get them to give something back. This is not an overnight solution. It's going to take time, but the upsides are tremendous. If we are only able to get 1%, this is an example, if we're only able to get 1% of this $1.3 billion in this one 5 mile radius in Houston, in a predominantly Black space, that's $13 million per month that we can use to make this one 5 mile radius bigger, better, and stronger. Per our research so far, there are at least 13 of these predominantly Black 5 mile radiuses in Houston. I'm sure there's a lot more than that, but we haven't gone beyond that with our research yet. So just imagine if we have 13, 14, 15 5 mile radiuses like this one on this slide, and we're bringing only 1%. That's 13 million times 13, 14, 15 of these spaces. That is revenue that we can do a lot of things with, but of course that will never happen if we don't go after these businesses and have conversations with them and get them to give something back. What the GROW4CARE Alliance is already doing, at least 3 weekends of every month, what we're already doing is getting out into the community, going door to door for our own reasons. We're already connecting with and talking to the community about a number of things because it's part of our mission. We are already assessing the community's understanding of certain things as it relates to politics, as it relates to community development, as it relates to youth programs. We're already assessing the needs of the community, and we're already inviting businesses to join and support the community in what we're doing and what we need to do. So we're already doing this for at least 3 weekends out of every month. How your nonprofit can benefit from what we're already doing. Membership in the Alliance, the GROW4CARE Alliance, has its privileges if you utilize the membership. Our financial success is your financial success. So we already know that funding is going to be cut. That funding being cut doesn't mean that what your nonprofit currently does is no longer needed. As I said, it's going to be needed more because so many things are being cut, not just funding for nonprofits, but again, the social safety net, education, housing, food for the poor, Head Start. I mean, so many things are being cut. We absolutely must rely on one another. So as we approach these businesses and get them to give something back, some of that will go to you because we understand that we still need you to do what you're already doing because it's still important. Our connections and our relationships become your connections and your relationships. Any vital connection we make that's going to help us move our mission forward, we want you to benefit from that. Any relationship that we have, any relationship that we create to help move our mission forward becomes your relationship as well. So our connections and our relationships become your connections and your relationships. Again, we're getting out into the community at least 3 weekends out of every month. So we are putting together what we're calling a community benefits package. So as we're getting out into the community, doing what we do, we want to be able to give the community person, whomever answers that door, We want to be able to give them a packet of information that could have your flyer in the packet. We want to give them a packet of information that could have your information of your organization or nonprofit in the packet. Again, we are focused on being the bridge between people like yourself who are already doing critically important work and those that need that work. For whatever reason, there is a disconnect between those that are doing the work and those that need that work to be done. And we want to be the bridge in between the two, because by being the bridge in between the two, we can not only help the lives of the people in the community become bigger, better, and stronger, but we can grow our membership base, which means we have that many more people working with us to make the community bigger, better, and stronger. Any new strategic partnerships we have with these businesses, with these organizations, with community members, become your strategic partnerships. And lastly, the cost to join the GROW4CARE Alliance is absolutely nothing. We don't want you to change anything that you're doing. We don't want you to give us any money to be a part. We don't want you to do anything but continue to be the kind of organization that you already are. Because we know it's not difficult. It's not easy having a nonprofit. It's not easy doing this work. It can be gut-wrenching, heartbreaking work because the needs are so great. But just because things are becoming difficult, just because things are becoming tight financially, again, doesn't mean that what you do is no longer needed or isn't necessary. The need is going to become greater. So we don't want to put any more stress, any more pressure, any more weight on your shoulders, if you will. We want to alleviate as much of that as possible. So your becoming a part of the GROW4CARE Alliance costs you nothing. All you have to do is be interested in partnering with us so that we can work together to make one another stronger. What we need from you so that we can both become stronger. All we need is information about what you do and how you do it. We need to know the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how. Who is your target market? What do you do for that target market? When do you do that? Where do you do it? Do you only operate on the south side of Houston? Do you operate on the south and the west? The south, the west, and the east, or in the east, or is it all of Houston? Is it greater Houston? Where do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? What is your mission? And how do you do it? What is the strategy for you doing whatever you do? We have not come across an organization, a nonprofit that is satisfied with its level of marketing, with its level of advertising, with how many people they are able to reach and help. We have yet to come across an organization that is completely satisfied with those things, and we want to help. But we can't help if we don't know who you are, what you do, when you do it, where you do it, why you do it, and how you do it. So we're going to be we're actually updating our website right now, where we'll have a questionnaire on the website whereby you can go and give us this information. Because the more information we have about you and what you do, the better and the more we can inform the community, so you can have more people looking to get the needs, to get the services that you provide for what they need. It really is a win-win if we utilize it. We want to create a symbiotic relationship in that you need us and we need you. And that currently exists, but we haven't known about one another up until this point. And we want to make sure that the relationship is a win-win for everybody. It's a win for you. It's a win for us. And of course, it's a win for the community. And fortunately, the only thing stopping us from making this a reality is us. If we choose to become a part of a bigger mission, a bigger purpose, then we can most certainly do that. And we want to invite you to be a part of that, because again, things are only going to get more difficult. Things are only going to get more stressful. More things are going to be cut. If you haven't heard or read or watched any videos on this big, beautiful bill, quote unquote, as they call it, just like Project 2025, which we've been trying to prepare the community for since last February, it's going to get bad. And we've been saying this for well over a year. Not many people listen, but now they're going to be forced to listen because this thing is in their face and it's coming. So the work that you do is going to become that much more necessary, that much more critical. And just because the funding is cut doesn't mean that, again, the need diminishes. No, it's going to become greater. And we want to help you with that. So again, any success that we have in any capacity, we want to share that success with you because we understand that by us working together, you doing what you do, we with us doing what we do together, we can create a stronger relationship and continue to move forward. So thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting the invite. Thank you for taking the time to watch this recording. I hope to hear from you soon. I believe, because I've been doing this work for a minute, I believe that there are only two things that can stop melanated African descendants, Black people, and that is a higher power, which is obviously not against us, and us. The only thing that can stop us is us. So if we choose not to be stopped, we can't be stopped. We just have to make sure that we are working together as much as possible to ensure that we are creating as many win-wins as possible. This country has never treated us right. I don't think it ever will treat us right. But that doesn't mean that we can't put things in place to treat ourselves right. And that's why we're here and that's why we do what we do. So again, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for accepting the invite. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. And I look forward to receiving more information about you, your organization, and what you do. So on that note, thank you again. And always remember two things. One, no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And lastly, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the empowerment and freedom of Black people. Because if Black people aren't empowered and free, you're not going to be empowered and free. I'm not going to be empowered and free. Our children aren't going to be empowered and free. And of course, our families won't be empowered and free. But if we put the nation first, if we put the group first, if we build power for the tribe first, then the group, the tribe, the nation can protect the people, and we can all benefit from that protection because we're going to need it, because we've always needed it. We've just not always had everything we needed in place to ensure that that nation was doing what it needed to do to help the people. So again, thank you guys very much. I'm looking forward to hearing back from each and every one of you. Thank you for accepting the invite, and let's work because we have to. We are really up against it. But we have yet to have a challenge that we're faced with that we have not been able to overcome, because that's what we do. Thank you very much. God bless. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye-bye.